Welcome to Global Watch. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon for more breaking updates. The tectonic plates of global finance and energy are shifting beneath our feet. For decades, oil, the world's industrial lifeblood, has been priced in US dollars, cementing American economic dominance. But in late 2025, Saudi Arabia and Qatar's decision to join BRICS and trade oil with China in yuan marks a seismic shift. This isn't just a new payment method, it's a strategic realignment with global consequences. The Gulf nations, once firmly under the American umbrella, are now hedging their bets, deepening ties with both East and West. The dollar's status as the world's reserve currency faces its first real challenge, hinting at a more multipolar financial future. Gulf states aren't abandoning the West, they're expanding their options, leveraging their unique position. This dual-track strategy reflects a sophisticated understanding of their own importance in a world no longer dominated by a single superpower. As we explore this story, we'll examine the petrodollar's origins, the Gulf's motivations, and America's powerful response. The events of 2024 and 2025 are not isolated. They're chapters in a larger story about the future of global trade and power. Understanding this shift is crucial, as it will shape economic and political realities for decades to come. To understand today's upheaval, we must revisit the petrodollar's origins. After the US left the gold standard in 1971, a new anchor was needed for the dollar. Through deals with Saudi Arabia, oil was priced exclusively in dollars, and surplus revenues recycled into US treasuries. This arrangement created constant global demand for dollars, allowing the US to run deficits and maintain low interest rates. The Gulf monarchies, in return, received American security guarantees, a mutually beneficial pact. For nearly 50 years, this system underpinned global energy markets and cemented the dollar's role as the world's reserve currency. The petrodollar became so entrenched that alternatives seemed unthinkable. But the world has changed. China now imports more Middle Eastern oil than the US, and new power centers have emerged. The foundations of the petrodollar, US energy dependence, and a unipolar world have eroded. These cracks have allowed new possibilities like Yuan-Based oil trade to emerge. What was once fringe is now reality, challenging the dollar's eternal reign. The petrodollar's dominance is no longer guaranteed. The stage is set for a new era in global finance. BRICS began as an acronym, not a formal alliance, but its ambitions have grown. The bloc's members, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and later South Africa, sought to reform a Western-dominated global order. The creation of the new development bank in 2014 marked a turning point, promoting local currencies and reducing dollar reliance. In 2023, BRICS invited Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Egypt, Iran, Ethiopia, and Argentina to join, expanding its reach and influence. The formal entry of Saudi Arabia and the UAE in 2024 gave BRICS unprecedented energy clout. With these new members, BRICS now represents a major share of global oil production and GDP. This expansion provided the perfect platform for Saudi Arabia and Qatar's currency diversification. The bloc's push for de-dollarization gave Gulf states political cover to renegotiate energy trade with China. BRICS's rise was the catalyst for the first serious, state-led challenge to the petrodollar system. The global balance of power is shifting, and BRICS is at the center. In 2024, theory became reality as Saudi Arabia and Qatar finalized yuan-denominated oil and gas deals with China. These were not symbolic gestures. Industry insiders estimate the deals are worth tens of billions annually. For China, paying in yuan reduces risk and advances its goal of internationalizing its currency. For the Gulf, accepting yuan is a pragmatic nod to their biggest customer and a hedge against dollar volatility. Politically, it signals strategic autonomy, allowing the Gulf to forge independent economic ties. Diversifying away from the dollar also insulates their economies from potential Western sanctions. These deals required new financial infrastructure, proving that large-scale, non-dollar oil trade is possible. While the petrodollar still dominates, this parallel yuan-based channel is a landmark precedent. Other oil producers are watching closely, considering their own moves. The Gulf's yuan-based deals sent ripples through currency markets, but not the shockwaves some feared. The dollar didn't collapse, but demand for yuan rose, and central banks began diversifying reserves. Other BRICS members, like Russia and Brazil, started pilot programs for yuan-based trade, creating a network effect. This trend, though nascent, is the most significant challenge to the dollar's trade dominance in decades. For many in the global south, the move is seen as a step toward a more balanced world order. China and BRICS have gained soft power while the US faces debates about its global influence. Yet the dollar's dominance persists. US treasuries remain the world's safest asset, and the yuan isn't fully convertible. The immediate impact is evolution, not revolution. A dual-track system is emerging. The world hasn't abandoned the dollar, but it's building alternatives. The petrodollar's monopoly is over, but its influence endures. The global financial system is entering a new, more complex phase. The shift is gradual, but the direction is clear. The era of a single currency world is fading. The US responded to the petrodollar challenge with a bold pivot, leveraging its technological edge. In 2025, the Trump administration secured over $1 trillion in tech, AI, and defense deals with Gulf states, all in US dollars. The centerpiece, a massive AI campus in Abu Dhabi, powered by American technology and expertise. The US reversed export controls, granting the UAE access to cutting-edge AI chips in exchange for security alignment. These deals bind the Gulf's digital future to the American tech ecosystem. By tying access to advanced technology to dollar contracts, the US reinforces the dollar's centrality in the industries of tomorrow. While China can compete in trade, it can't yet match US. Fabersassen starting. Gulf states diversify energy trade, but remain deeply integrated with the US in critical sectors. The US is shifting the battlefield from oil to technology, ensuring the dollar's continued relevance. Despite the drawer, that's a message. Is Faberskans. Klur bis Darben Sars. American innovation remains a pillar of global power. The Gulf states are expertly balancing between the US and China, maximizing their own interests. They joined BRICS and launched Yuan-Based oil trade, while also signing historic dollar-denominated tech deals with the US. This dual-track approach is essential for their post-oil economic transformation. Gulf leaders know their future depends on Western technology and Eastern markets. By aligning with US tech standards and maintaining strong trade with China, they get the best of both worlds. The Gulf is also taking a more active role in regional diplomacy, reducing reliance on outside powers. But this balancing act is risky. Superpower patience may wear thin. The challenge is to avoid being forced to choose sides, as US as trees. As I no spanen were Kraziwa Stutson Sir Andrew en Chani despite Chitana were the worker or were we on Volru. Worried Burwi intensifies. For now, their wealth and strategic location give them leverage, but the tightrope is real. The Gulf's ability to navigate these rivalries will define its future. Most experts agree. The petrodollar's dominance is waning, but its collapse isn't imminent. The Gulf's moves are part of a broader shift toward a multi-currency world, not a sudden revolution. The yuan is growing in trade, but strict Chinese capital controls limit its reserve status. Until China liberalizes its financial system, the dollar remains the safest global reserve. Meanwhile, innovation within the dollar system, like digital assets and Bitcoin ETFs, reinforces its relevance. Gulf capital is still flowing into dollar-denominated assets, old and new. The future will likely feature several currency blocks, dollar, euro, and a nascent yuan block. Regional trade will increasingly use local anchors, but the dollar will remain the primary bridge. The era of uncontested dollar reign is ending, but its relevance endures. The global financial system is becoming more fragmented and competitive. Adaptation, not replacement, is the new reality. The past 2 years have redrawn the global map. Saudi Arabia and Qatar's BRICS entry and yuan trade marked the end of the unipolar era. The world is now multipolar, with power more diffuse and alliances more fluid. The US remains a formidable force, using technology, diplomacy, to maintain influence. Gulf states, by balancing East and West, have become pivotal players in finance, energy, and tech. Their success depends on navigating superpower rivalry without becoming a battleground. For citizens everywhere, understanding these shifts is essential. They shape jobs, prices, and global stability. The headlines about BRICS, the yuan, and the dollar are shaping our future. Staying informed is now an act of global citizenship. The old map is gone. We must pay attention as the new one is drawn.